Hi everyone, I'm Mayor Jan Kulmann and I'm here today with another edition of Thornton Now. We have a really exciting program today to talk with our Thornton Police Department Explorers. And with me is the Mayor Pro Tem, Jessica Sandgren.
Hello everyone.
And we also have some great interviews planned for today, and I'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
Hello, I'm Officer Michael Kippes with the Thornton Police Department. I'm an Explorer Advisor.
Hi, I'm America Payne. I'm the Explorer Police Sergeant. I've been with the post for the last 5 years.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about the Thornton PD Explorer program?
So the Thornton Explorer program started about 10 years ago, and to fit in with the vision statement that we have at the police department in mentoring youth, we thought it would be a good way to mentor youth who are interested in law enforcement or who are interested in building life skills needed for after they graduate from high school or from college.
And so America, you've graduated high school a couple years ago, so can you just talk a little bit about the benefits of being an explorer both in high school and after high school?
Oh, for sure. So in high school to start, the Explorer Post is the best way to just encapsulate all of your high school extracurricular necessities. Whether you need volunteer hours, you need time with a club for college just to put on a resume. If you want police officers as your resume references, they really do help you with everything. They'll write recommendation letters for you. They'll go out of their way to really pitch you and make you sound like a rock star, because honestly, that's what they build you into. The Explorer Post is a great extracurricular activity for kids who are interested in law enforcement or just really want to step out of their own comfort zone. When I joined the post, I had no idea about what police officers did. I had no interest in law enforcement, but over the course of the post, I really was able to grow and develop a lot of core characteristics that I think they really installed. A lot of discipline and time management for sure. And taking that with me as an adult, I've never been late to an interview, always 15 minutes early. That's what they always preach. I've always been very disciplined about my work and definitely taken a lot of things away, like the physical necessities that the post has. So there's a lot of good things that come with you from high school into adulthood.
So Officer Kippes, why don't you tell us what some of the duties are for an advisor for the program?
They run the post. They tell us what they're interested in doing, and we facilitate that for the kids, be it building searches, learning about laws, how we write reports, how we arrest people, how we testify in court, different things like that. We facilitate people to come in. If it's not one of us, our trainers within the police department come in and train our kids as well.
So it's really learning what it's like to be a police officer.
Yes, when I go out and recruit, I tell people we train our explorers basically the same way that we train our recruit officers when they first start with our department.
That's great. And America, tell us a little bit about what the duties of a sergeant are for the Explorers program.
So as a sergeant, it's a lot of time management and communication. Communication is the biggest piece because the advisors do so much for us as is, and are trying to go out and talk to all of the trainers and make sure we have these events. So they put out the information and make sure that we have the people there to attend. That's the biggest piece of it. And then also just spreading the good word of the Explorer Post to people who might be interested in joining, and just making sure that any questions that our explorers have are answered in a timely manner.
So it's kind of a leadership role within the program?
Correct.
So what kind of things do you talk about with the other explorers to kind of get them into that follow your leader type attitude?
So it's really rough at the start, depending on the type of class that we get, because the Explorer Post is a paramilitary organization, and for a lot of kids, they don't really understand what that is, and a lot of people don't have a lot of experience with time management or discipline prior to joining the post. So getting people to kind of understand where our organization's priorities are, and getting them to realize that, you know, the SROs go out of their way to hold these meetings for them, and they're extra, taking time out of their family, and that they need to be responsible for themselves and their uniforms and their gear. There's a lot that goes into it. So one of the ways that we've found most effective is we do a lot of physical activity to kind of reinstate that, which I find beneficial. You know, you could ever get enough push-ups or get enough runs. And I think the explorers motivate each other a lot with that. So that's one of the biggest ways we've been able to manage everybody and get them in line with our post's mission.
That's amazing. So it's really personal responsibility.
Yes, that's the biggest takeaway, and that's why I think the Explorer Post is such a great thing for youth, is because you really learn how to be responsible for yourself.
So it sounds like a lot really goes into the program once you've been through the process. How do you get into the program? What are some of the application requirements, the age requirements, and I guess how do people find out, how do kids find out about it in the first place?
So some of the requirements to become a Thornton Explorer is you have to be 14 and a half to 20 and a half. That's when you age out. When you're 20 and a half, you're able to apply for different police departments. We require that you at least have a C average. Our requirements for the post itself is that you need to maintain an 80% attendance rate with meetings as well as our volunteer stuff that we do. And the way that you find out about the post is when we get ready to do recruitment, we usually put it out on all of our social media outlets from the city of Thornton. We also go into high schools and recruit there. We're really fortunate now that Adams 12 has a law enforcement class at Washington Square. So I'm able to connect with the majority of the kids in Adams 12 about our post. And last year we were able to recruit a ton of kids from there. And it's a great place to do because those kids already have an interest in law enforcement. But just keep your eyes out. We usually start it in about September, middle of September, we'll start putting it out. You guys can contact us.
And so America, when you went through, how did you first get involved, I guess? Where did you hear about the program?
So it was really odd. My mom had brought it up spontaneously without knowing that there was actually one in Thornton. My mom was an explorer in California with the city of Fontana, I believe, and she said to go talk to my school resource officer and see if that was an option, and it was. And I think that's the best way for kids to get involved is to really start talking to their SROs and getting to know what this program's more about is just using the resources they have at their school.
So as an experienced explorer and thinking back to when you first began, what do you think are some of your most favorite memories in the program?
Easily for me, it's anything holiday related. We have Trunk or Treat and the Christmas Crusades where they get us all riled up to wrap presents for children in need, and then we get to go deliver them with the patrol officers. The biggest one for me is definitely our lead pack competitions. I've done that 3 years now prior to COVID. And it's a week long where the advisors rally up all the explorers that they can get and take us to either Grand Junction or Gunnison. We were in Glenwood Springs one year too. So it's in different parts of Colorado. We usually stay on a college campus, and they set up a variety of scenarios for us and really test your law enforcement learning. You know, our time in the post, we learn a lot about traffic stops and different criminal law. And they really challenge us to see things in a different way. And then you're put up there for a week with explorers from different agencies, and you compete in teams from other agencies. So normally you have a group of 4 to 5 people, all from different agencies, and you do all your competitions with them. There's solo competitions, so the traffic stop is solo, and the pedestrian stop where you kind of just make contact with somebody and kind of get a better idea of what they were doing there. And you have team ones with your post, which just is a giant building search at night. It's the best one there. We always have so many people coming out of it just so pumped up from everything going on. And the team competitions for sure, you really get to learn a lot of different things from the different agencies there because every agency does things so different. But at the end of the week, Thornton usually brings home a good amount of trophies. You can definitely check out our display.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Mm-hmm. What are some of your favorite experiences or memories from the Explorers program?
So a lot of my favorite memories are going to be mirrored from what Sergeant Payne has talked about, but one of my favorite things that we do as a post is when we go up to Grand Junction in June and we work with the Special Olympics. We go up there on a Friday night, we help feed the athletes. Saturday and Sunday, we cheer on the athletes. We participate in medal when we hand out the medals and just assist throughout the weekend. I think I like it so much because I get to see the joy that our explorers get from helping these athletes and how they interact with the athletes. And it's just such a special time for us as advisors to see our kids truly giving back to a needy organization and actually making connection with those kids.
It's really like a family.
It really is. It really is. And I think anybody who's gone up there would understand how much fun it is. Lead Pack's a lot of fun too, but for us advisors, it is a lot of work.
So what are your plans with the Explorers now that you're aging out, so they say?
So I've actually put in my application with the city of Thornton, and I've gotten through a few of the phases, and I'm working my way through it. And so my goal at the end is to just be an officer with the city of Thornton. That would be awesome.
That's great. Well, thank you both so much for your time. This has been wonderful. We love talking with you. It's been fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us. We'll be right back with more of Thornton Now with our Police Department Explorers program.
Welcome to TNet, the City of Thornton's information network providing residents and businesses with multiple communications platforms for receiving the news that is important to them. With print, television, digital, and social media, TNet casts a wide network of information sources that are easily available to all. Thornton news, such as programs like Thornton 360, as well as live council meetings, can be seen on digital video on Thornton's Xfinity Channel 881 or streaming on Apple TV, Roku, social media, and Thornton's website. City Voice newspaper comes directly into homes throughout the year with the latest news and events. The Thornton Parks, Recreation, and Community Programs magazine brings information on fitness, fun, arts, and cultural opportunities to residents of all ages. Thornton's digital network brings thorntonco.gov, the web portal providing all access to in-depth information on city services, events, and news. My Thornton is the 24/7 portal to City Hall, where residents can communicate directly with city staff on a wide range of issues, either by computer or by smartphone. BusinessinThornton.com is the destination for businesses in Thornton or operations looking to locate in Thornton to find vital information to make their operation successful. ThorntonWater.com provides residents with important water conservation tips pertinent for Colorado's arid climate. T-Alerts, Thornton's email notification service, provides information about numerous events and services available to residents. Timely information updates throughout the day can be found on Thornton's social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Nextdoor. The City of Thornton understands people receive their information in many different ways these days. At home or on the go, people want to be informed. TNet is there to meet your needs.
Welcome back to this edition of Thornton Now. Today we have some amazing Police Department Explorers with us, and I'd like to introduce two of our younger Explorers today.
Hi, my name is Sandgren.
And my name is Dia Jaff.
Thank you both for joining us today. Why don't you tell us about some of the programs and events that you guys get to attend and participate in?
We work a variety of community service events, and especially this year, we did the Special Olympics. We did the Adams 12 backpack give back. Or giveaway, and we've done the drug take back, and we'll be doing the e-waste take back too.
Great.
Yeah, some of the other events that we have done are things like the bike rodeo, where we got to help little kids with their bikes, get to hand out popsicles. We also get to work on things like shred-a-thon or e-waste, which people can then bring in things that we can help with getting rid of, and we just work a variety of events, both community related and for service for whoever needs help.
And Dia, I saw you at the drug take-back event.
Yes, ma'am.
How long were you there?
For most of our events, we're there at 6 a.m. or 6:30 a.m. and then we leave around 2 or 3.
Wow.
And ended up leaving much later that day.
Do you remember how many drugs we took back?
So many bags. I think they posted a picture on Twitter, and we were just starting, and we had 18 big trash bags of drugs. Yep.
So do you receive any special training as an explorer?
We do. We do defensive tactics, and we have building searches.
Parts of the days that we do these things, we get to learn how to work with the officers, see what they get to do, and honestly, we just get to work as a team and learn how to keep each other safe and watch each other's backs.
And so when you guys got involved in this, I heard earlier from your sergeant that you had some push-ups. Where do those come in? Is that a part of your training, or why do you do so many push-ups?
So basically, the push-ups help us learn how to respect each other. And let's say somebody forgets their uniform or something like that, even so simple. It's like my sergeant said, a paramilitary organization. We want to be able to have respect. We want to be able to be on time, to have our uniforms. So we use these push-ups as a way to help us remember that next time we should remember these things so that not everybody has to do push-ups.
If we're not 15 minutes early, we're late.
That's a good life lesson for
Yes,
sure.
ma'am.
Yes.
How closely do you both get to work with our Thornton police officers?
The Thornton Explorer Post, our advisors are full-time police officers, and they are our mentors, and they help us through the entire program, but they also help us with our personal lives. So we look up to them, and they're very close with us. For example, we were working with them on 4th of July, and when the 4th of July event was happening, we also had a lot of other officers from the police department. So it wasn't just our advisors or just that small group of officers. We work with everybody.
That's great.
Yeah, so basically, in all these events that we do, we get to know these officers so much better, and they're just amazing people. And especially if you see them outside of the post, they just always greet you so friendly. And everything that we do, they teach us everything to help us be safe and make sure that we have fun.
That's really important, to be safe and to have fun.
Yes.
So as young explorers who are fairly new to the program, what have been some of your most favorite experiences so far?
Working with the Youth Academy was by far my favorite because I got to meet so many new kids who were so interested, and I built connections with these people over the span of a week, and it didn't feel like they were just kids in a program. It felt like a family by the end.
And that was just in a week.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
And what kind of things did you do at the Youth Academy?
All these kids came in and they were all interested in law enforcement, and over the span of the week we had SWAT come in and we did building searches. We also had detectives come in and we would solve crime scenes in little groups, and we would get candy for solving it right. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. A part of Youth Academy, that was also one of my favorite memories. But besides that, I loved working the 4th of July, as well as our recent event, the bike rodeo. I just loved seeing all the kids' little faces and seeing them light up when we can give them a popsicle or even a sticker. And it's just amazing to see how each person steps up and how the community reacts to being around us.
So the 1 week Youth Academy that you just went through, how is that different than what you are both doing as explorers, or is that a part of it?
So basically, we get the option to attend the Youth Academy, but the main difference is we, as explorers, definitely get a lot of more information, as well as more time to really learn the process. Whereas the Youth Academy, it's a fun week to see if you would like to be a part of this program or go into something like this program. The Youth Academy is more them teaching you little bits so that if you are interested, you can later on learn so much more.
It was mandatory for the explorers to go, especially because that's where we got most of it was more training, and we had to take it way more serious than the other kids because we used that in the actual Explorer Post. So it was mandatory for us to go. We had our sergeants there, and the other kids who were also in the program, they had the opportunity by the end of the week to not only meet us, our sergeants, and the officers, but see the environment, see how things were around there, and get a taste of what the post was like. So they got to sign up at the end of the week, and we'll start interviews in October.
Okay, so in a way it's sort of an introduction to the Explorers program if they hadn't already been involved or knew about it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
What made you decide to join the Explorers program?
I've always been interested in law enforcement, and when I saw the program and I met the officers, I knew it was what I wanted to spend my time doing.
Yeah, I definitely love the idea of going into law enforcement. That's always been a dream of mine. So when my mom informed me that this was a possibility, I really wanted to do this and just learn more about what my future could become.
And so you're out in the community a lot, talking to other people, talking to other kids. What do you say to others to encourage them to join the program?
It is such an amazing program, and you get so many opportunities from it. You get the opportunity to not just get close with the city of Thornton because you're volunteering so much and helping out, but to the officers, and you make connections with these people and friends that later on turn into family. And the post doesn't just teach you about law enforcement. It has taught me so many life skills, and I know I'll use it after I'm out of the program.
Yeah, so this program, I would honestly encourage so many people to join this because, like Dia said, it becomes a family. I just love hanging around with them, and especially the officers even. They just make everything so amazing, and we like to joke and have fun. And this has also taught me a lot about diligence and even self-respect, because this program really gets you into the goods and bads and even the most interesting parts of life that you would have never understood without it.
The program matures you. We're at the point in our lives where we're growing up and we're all teenagers, so there's so many different paths you can take. And my brother's also in the post, and it's kept us on the right path. It's kept us mature, and it's taught us so many different things. Like our sergeant said, time management and discipline. Those two.
Is there anything else that you guys wanted to share with us?
I think for anybody who joins, it's going to be a great way to meet new people, new connections, as well as figuring out which post you would like to be in, because we learn a lot about detectives, community relations, all these different things, and it's not just about the one area. There's so many different things you could do. So I think that's been a great lesson to me, to find out what other options there are.
I've gotten so many great opportunities from being just in the post, and having the title of being an explorer, or like being one right now, or even having one on your resume, it opens up so many doors for you just working with this part of the city.
That's great. Thank you both so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Your
you.
experience is amazing, and I'm hoping that everybody watching this is going to be excited and get ready to apply and join our Explorers program.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll be right back with more Thornton Now.
Hello, it's Officer Jesus Mendez of the Thornton Police Department. We'd like to invite you to Thornton's new Home and Business Security Cam Registry. This is a community and police partnership where if something happens in your neighborhood, your video footage can help us maybe catch the suspect, identify a witness, or even return your property. So visit gocot.net/camera registry to register your home and business security cams today. Together, we can partner and make a reduction in crime.
Welcome back to another Thornton Now. Today we are talking with the Thornton Police Department Explorers program. And for those of you wondering why the Mayor Pro Tem has been joining me, her daughter is actually in the program. And Jessica, I'd love to get some feedback from you on what it's like to be a parent with a child in the program.
Good question. It's been a really great experience for us. My husband and I both went through the Citizens Police program, and so we were pretty familiar with just the ins and the outs of what kind of interaction the community has as far as being able to see the K-9 and the SWAT and kind of the crime scene procedures. And so we're both a part of the Alumni Association and really have a lot of respect for our police department here in the city of Thornton. And so finding out that it was something my daughter could actually be a part of as a teenager, it really just, for us, it was not even a question mark. And so it was a very rigorous process. And so she had to apply. She filled out the application. She went through a very intense application and interview process with many officers sitting across the table. So I've heard of her experiences on the applicant side, and we heard from some of the explorers today about the life skills that they learn, showing up 15 minutes or you're late. The interview itself, I think, is something for these kids to already have these types of skills and being kind of exposed to something like this. It not only gives them maturity now, is what we've heard from some of them, but also when they go out into the world, whether they do go into law enforcement or any other career, they're going to be well prepared as far as showing up on time, knowing how to interview correctly, knowing how to speak with respect. I think they learn lifelong skills in everything that they're doing. And so she's definitely helped me get there on time or 15 minutes early. I think it's funny to hear the push-up stories and the reasons why they have to do push-ups, but I think the police department, we have an incredible police department, and we know that from our community. We've heard that for years. And until you really experience something like this, either as an adult in the Citizens Academy or as a teenager in the Explorers program, you may never actually know that. But we see our police officers out in the community. We see these kids out in the community. I've seen how the kids interact with other community members, other kids in the community, and there's just a lot of positivity around what they're doing, and the response that they get it's pretty incredible. And so when we see so much negativity in the news, and then you actually see firsthand what these kids are doing and how the police officers are impacting both these kids and the folks in the community, I think that we realize that what we see in the news is not accurate, especially here in the city of Thornton. And so I just believe, I feel very comfortable with my daughter being in this program. I know she's learning a lot, and I'm very grateful that we have something like that here in the city because as we've heard from all these girls today, it's made a big difference in their life. The interaction that we see between the officers and the kids, I have to say the officers, they bring such a sense of professionalism, but they really care about these kids. They're more than just mentors and advisors. They are almost like, and we heard this, they are a second family for these kids. And so I'm very proud of the officers and the commitment that they have to this program, but also the compassion and care that they show to the kids.
Yeah, I love seeing them at all of our events, all through the summer, and then the events coming up in the fall. They are the first ones to greet everyone. They are the first ones to come out and say hi, and the officers are always there making sure that everybody's aligned together, and it's wonderful to see.
And if you've seen any of the videos from the Academy Week, it's just fun to watch. These officers are crazy, and watching them basically play, they're like little kids themselves. And so again, you see just, they're all humans, and they're all just having a great time together. And so I'm very thankful for the officers and the time that they put into this program and to these kids. And really, it's growing our city and the community. And so hearing how they kind of have this path in, it really is, it builds our community, it makes us stronger.
And how proud are you of your daughter for doing this?
It really makes me, I have a lot of, I'm just so grateful, and I really love seeing her out there. I don't post much about it. She's very independent, and so I try not to make a big deal out of it, especially just because I'm out in the community so much too, but it definitely, I have a big smile every time I see her out there, and we're just both, my husband and I are very proud of her as a whole.
Well, that's it for our latest edition of Thornton Now. Thank you so much for joining us and talking with us with our Thornton Police Department and Explorers program. For those of you interested in more information, you can always follow the Thornton PD on social media. You can talk to your school resource officers or SROs to find out more information on how to apply, and check out any of our events all through the summer and fall, because we'll have officers there to talk to you about it.